Hi, Donna Zalter, Compass Real Estate, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, serving Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Boca, and anywhere in between. I am here this week to talk about the 5 hidden costs of selling your home. Okay, I am going to read, but I'm going to read just a little bit this time. The first cost of selling your home, and these are hidden costs, by the way, is the closing costs. These are, if you have a good real estate agent, they will prepare a net sheet in advance for if, to estimate what your cost may be. It's not an automatic thing that you will receive, so make sure if you're buying or selling a home that you ask your realtor for your net sheet, and they should know what you're talking about. These range historically between 2 and 5%. 2% if you're the buyer side in the state of Florida. 5% could be if you're the seller side, because the selling side does pay commissions. And I'll talk more about that a bit later. It's an important thing. Hidden cost number 2, your moving costs. I've recently moved, and I have clients that I help move all the time, and those have gone up pretty exponentially in the last year and a half. We have a labor shortage, we have truck shortage, we have gas costs. So be prepared to pay anywhere for between $800 for a local move to $2,100 for a longer distance. But even $4,000 to $5,000 if you're moving across the country. Again, we have a surcharge for gas these days. Typically a move will, if you're moving an entire household, you'll need about 4 or 5 guys to help you. So you have to factor that in as well. 3, the most obvious, I don't think it's a hidden cost. It is usually one that a savvy buyer includes in their budget, and that's the cost of renovations. I don't know anyone who has moved into a house of substantial means who has not done some renovation, whether it's just painting the 4 walls or all the walls, changing carpet, changing flooring, changing lights. All of these add up. And again, I have clients that have their pictures hung professionally. That costs money. So just make sure when you get to when you're doing your budget for actually moving, you incorporate a little bit of a slush fund for your budget for your renovations. Hidden cost number 4 is the cost of inspections and the cost of fixing anything up that's behind the walls that you didn't catch before or was not caught by the naked eye. Again, we are in an as-is situation, at least in the state of Florida, and so all homes are being transacted as is. What does that mean? It means that neither buyer nor seller are obligated to fix anything, and the buyer is not obligated to take the house if any defects are found. So usually this does not mean that the seller gets off scot-free without reimbursing, unless they choose that. Nor does it mean that the buyer will necessarily walk away if there's anything that needs to be fixed. If it's something major, like a roof or an air conditioner, or something that is not been represented as other than what it is being represented, what has been found out. So if your roof is being represented as newish and it's actually 30 years old, which is the end of its life, that is worth a credit. An air conditioner that's been represented as new but is actually 10 years old, again at the end of its life. But please note that with an as-is contract, the seller is not obligated to offer a dime. However, the caveat to that is he may say take it as is or walk away to the buyer, but he must disclose these what we call latent defects to the next home buyer that puts an offer on his home. So just want to be clear about that. The 5th hidden cost of home ownership is the cost of your title insurance. That is a must-have in the state of Florida. I'm only speaking state of Florida. I think it's a must-have everywhere. What this guarantees is that there is no defects historically on your title if you ever wish to convey or whatever. It just protects you as the homeowner in the future as well. The typical cost of title insurance is about $1,000, but the amount varies widely from state to state and how it's calculated in each state. So it just usually goes with the valuation of your house and how much is required and all that fun stuff. So those are the 5 hidden costs of purchasing a home that are above and beyond the purchase price. So how much do you budget for this? Well, that's a good question. The budget, obviously, for your surplus, you want to have a bit of a sludge fund because you need to pay your inspections. At the very least, an inspection for a single family home can be upwards of $1,000 to $3,000, depending on how big the house is.